smile frozen in time, a moment meant for memories, turned into a final goodbye. These are the most haunting selfies ever taken, captured just seconds, minutes, or hours before tragedy struck. From adventure gone wrong to chilling coincidences, these final photos will send shivers down your spine. The red-haired terror. A group of hikers was snapping fun photos near a giant 150-foot waterfall in Santa Barbara. At first, the pictures looked normal, just rocks, water, and sunlight. But later, when zoomed in, something horrifying appeared. A face, twisted, in pain. It was a woman, red hair tangled, eyes full of fear. That woman was Sailor Gilliams. The day before, she and her friend Vega got lost in the wild. As night hit, Sailor jumped from a rock, shattered her ankle, and Vega broke his elbow trying to help. He left to find help, but never came back. A cry in the shadows? Alone, broken and fading, Sailor screamed, but the forest stayed quiet. Her voice grew weak, her body cold, her hope gone. Then came the hikers. They spotted a flicker of red hair. Sailor, barely alive, they called 911, saving her life. Vega, sadly, didn't survive. His body found later, far down the trail. When one hiker checked his photos again, Sailor's haunted face stared back. Trapped in time, a silent scream, a miracle caught by accident. Now Sailor warns others, never hike off trail, never go unprepared. Her story is real. Her pain still echoes. Have you ever dreamed of vanishing, just walking away from the noise, the rules, the rush of everyday life? In 1990, Christopher McCandless did exactly that. He gave away his $24,000 0-cent savings, burned his ID, and vanished into the wild. He called himself Alexander Supertramp and set off on a journey with nothing but a backpack, a rifle, and a dream. No phones, no safety nets. Just the open road, wild rivers, and the whisper of freedom. Chris hitchhiked, canoed, and wandered across America. His goal? Alaska, the raw, untouched wild. But nature doesn't play fair. Chris reached the icy wilds of Alaska and found an abandoned bus to call home. At first, he survived by hunting rabbits and gathering berries. But food ran out, mistakes added up, and the cold crept in. His body grew weak, his journal turned dark. After 113 days alone, Chris's journey ended. A haunting selfie was the last trace he left behind. Just 67 pounds when hunters found him, Chris had starved to death. Was he a bold dreamer or a lost soul? His story still echoes. A warning, a mystery, a legend. The ghostly figure at Dundas Peak. In 2016, a girl named Sliced Up Beef hiked to Dundas Peak in Ontario with a friend. They wanted to copy a cool photo her cousin had taken days earlier, standing boldly at the cliff's edge. They snapped their pictures and went home. Nothing seemed strange, but weeks later, her friend looked closely at the photo and froze. There, far below the trail, was a tall, thin figure. It stood perfectly straight. It had no face, no one had noticed it before. And it wasn't in any other photo taken from the same spot. It made no sense. People on Reddit went wild. Some thought it was just a rock, others saw a body with colors that didn't match the cliffs, a few believed it was a hiker in a deadly position, but the creepiest idea? That it was a ghost. Dundas Peak is known for tragic accidents. Could this be the spirit of someone who never left? No one knows for sure, but one thing is clear. Once you see that figure, you can't unsee it. The mystery of the crouching man. 17-year-old Darlene Pua wanted an adventure. On a bright February morning in 2015, he told his family he was going hiking in Hawaii. He picked the Haiku Stairs, 4,000 steps of danger, known as the Stairway to Heaven. The path was closed, it was steep, one wrong step could mean a 2,000-foot fall. But Darlene wasn't scared. He started climbing and even sent cheerful pictures along the way. Then, silence, no more messages, no return home. A massive search began. Firefighters, drones, even the Navy tried to find him, but Darlene had vanished. Days later, his family looked at his last photo and froze. Behind Darlene, in the bushes, crouched a man. No one knew who he was. A stalker, a stranger? Was Darlene being followed? Some hikers even said they heard cries for help the next day. "Help me, I'm down here," but no one was found. Authorities said he likely fell. Yet no body ever appeared. The man in the photo was never identified. The mystery of Darlene's final hike has never been solved. The stairs are set to be removed, but the ghost of that photo still chills everyone who sees it. David A. Johnston was smiling in the sunshine, notebook in hand, calm and relaxed. The photo, taken just hours before his death, shows a man enjoying nature, unaware of the disaster about to unfold. 13 hours later, he would vanish forever. A volcano lover since childhood, Johnston studied geology with passion, graduating with honors and earning a PhD. By 1980, he was tracking Mount St. Helens, a restless giant rumbling with warning. But brave and bold, Johnston stepped into danger, studying volcanic gases and standing closer than anyone dared. On May 18, 1980, he was watching from a station just 5.5 miles away. That morning, he radioed, Vancouver, this is it." Seconds later, the mountain exploded. A monstrous blast shattered the earth, racing faster than a jet. Rock, ash, fire, ice. Everything in its path was gone in minutes. David A. Johnston was never found, but his warning saved lives. 56 people died, but it could have been thousands. Because Johnston was there, because he chose to face the mountain. Today, the site where he last stood is named Johnston Ridge. His courage lives on. His final smile, forever frozen in time, reminds us that heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they carry notebooks and walk into fire. Joe Martinez smiled for a photo at a family party in 1999. Everything felt happy, normal, safe. But years later, when he looked at that same photo, something cold and terrifying stared back. Behind Joe's shoulder was a face, twisted, snarling, beast-like. No one remembered a dog at the party. Joe felt a chill run through him. That face wasn't just scary, it felt personal. At the time the photo was taken, Joe was secretly battling addiction. He suddenly saw that face as a symbol of his demons, real, dark, and following him. That photo changed everything. Joe couldn't ignore it. The image became his mirror, showing the truth he tried to hide. He decided to fight back. With courage and help, he broke free from his addiction. He carries that photo with him now, not as a curse, but as a reminder. A photo expert confirmed it wasn't edited. Some say it's just pareidolia, seeing faces and shadows. But for Joe, that haunting photo saved his life. It was fear that led to strength, darkness that sparked redemption. In 1945, a man named Harold Agnew smiled calmly for a photo. He looked relaxed, almost friendly, but in his hands he held something deadly, a small metal sphere, quiet and cold. That was the plutonium core for Fat Man, the atomic bomb that would destroy Nagasaki. Over 80,000 lives ended in a single flash, and Harold was right there holding the heart of it. The photo was taken on Tinian Island during the top secret Project Alberta. Everyone in the picture looked calm, no fear, no warning in their eyes. If you didn't know better, you'd think it was just a military exercise, not the beginning of one of history's darkest moments. But Harold wasn't just on the ground. He was in the sky when it happened, flying in an observation plane right behind the Enola Gay. As the bomb fell, he captured footage of the blast. Through his lens, he watched a city vanish. That same man, smiling just days earlier, recorded pure destruction. Today, the photo feels unreal. A simple grin, a casual pose, but hidden in that image is death itself. Harold Agnew became a symbol of how calm the face of horror can look. Three girls, one moment, a haunting photo no one can forget. In October 2011, Essa Ricker, Kelsey Webster, and her sister Savannah were hiking in Utah's Spanish Fork Canyon. As a train approached, they decided to snap a quick selfie, laughing, unaware of the danger behind them. Savannah posted the picture to Facebook thinking it was just a fun memory, but what she didn't know was that another train was silently closing in from the opposite direction. The conductor saw them and blared the horn for 12 long seconds, but the warning came too late. In the final photo, the faint glow of that second train's headlights can be seen in the top corner. Within moments, all three girls were gone. The train, going 39 miles per hour, couldn't stop in time. The tragedy didn't just crush their families, it broke the train crew too, who watched helplessly. That one photo is now a chilling reminder of how quickly joy can turn to horror. A simple selfie became their final moment, frozen forever. In 2014, two Dutch students, Chris Kremers and Lisanne Froon, set off on a dream trip to Panama. Their goal? To hike mountains, teach children, and capture memories. But on April 1st, they vanished. A photo of them smiling on a trail near Boquete was the last sign of joy. They took the family dog along, but only the dog came back. The girls didn't. Panic set in. A huge search was launched, but no trace was found. Until 10 weeks later, a local woman discovered their backpack by a river, filled with phones, a camera, and chilling clues. The girls had tried to call for help 77 times. Just one call briefly connected for 2 seconds, then silence. The camera revealed happy photos at first, but days later, terrifying nighttime shots appeared. Flash after flash lit up the dark jungle. Makeshift signals, broken twigs, even what looked like the back of Chris's head. Soon their remains were found. Bones, some bleached, some natural. Chris's clothes were folded neatly. A photo was missing, erased between the daylight smiles and the nighttime fear. Who deleted it? Why? No one knows. Was it a tragic accident, or is Panama's jungle hiding something far more sinister?